Why is it that as we age, we begin to experience incontinence?
Okay. Well, menopause basically is a decrease or a lowering of the estrogen level, which is one of the hormones that keeps us balanced, keeps our emotionals under control, and all of that. Well, as we go into menopause, the estrogen levels drop. With that dropping, also affects the muscles everywhere. I mean, your arms, your legs, but also the muscles that control the bladder. So if you don't have control of that bladder, then what happens? Frequent urination.
Hi, I'm Glennis Woods Mullins, and I love to help women to vibe, to be more vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and empowered in midlife. So come on, let's vibe.
You know, we always talk about midlife issues that we come across. And there's one midlife issue that a lot of folks don't want to talk about. But I have to tell you, first of all, before I introduce our guest, I had that experience just this morning, going on my walk. And I usually walk very early in the morning, and I always drink a lot of water when I first wake up in the morning. And I go to the bathroom before I go. Well, I was going up the hill, getting ready to go down the hill, and all of a sudden I was like, uh-oh, I got to go to the dang bathroom. And I live in a well-established area where there's no building going on. So there is no like little urinals anywhere. And the nearest like public restroom from my home is probably a good mile away from me. And I'm a good 2 miles away from home. So one would think, what would I do? Because normally go to the woods somewhere because I live in a really tree wooded area, but I didn't do that. I was able to use the product. Seriously, this is what happened this morning. The product that is created by these two wonderful ladies. I'm here today with Faye Pryor and Donna Rains, and they are affiliated with a wonderful product that helps with incontinence. We're going to talk about incontinence today. Faye Pryor, who is the CEO of Bladder Products and the creator of Potty Cap, and Donna Rains, who's Director of Business Operations for Potty Cap. Your product saved me today. I reached into my backpack, pulled out the Potty Cap, went over to some place and got it done without any muss or fuss. It's a fantastic product. So tell everybody how you came to create this product and a little bit about your background that gave you the expertise to create the product.
Well, thank you for having us today. And Potty Cap for me, I could take it back to when I was possibly in the 9th grade. And this is probably, now Donna's never heard this story. So here it goes. And I think sometimes things happen in our lives that puts us in place to say, aha, that's what happened. Mm-hmm. Well, here we are in school and we have a new teacher. And there's this young lady in the back of the room that enjoys keeping a disturbance. So she informs the teacher that she needs to use the bathroom. And the teacher says, the bell will be on. The bell will be coming on in a few minutes. Go back and sit down. But she didn't. And I thought, oh my gosh, how could you do that? Well, years later, as I'm talking with her, she says, well, you know, some of us just don't control our bladders like we normally can. Right. So bladder issues, and that's maybe a little facetious, so to speak, but it can happen at any age, okay? And so when I looked at Potty Cap, it was a patient that I was working with who needed to use the bathroom. I was not able to take her to the bathroom because she wasn't able to walk and had difficulty standing, but she could sit on the side of the bed. But to make a long story short, there was no urinal, so we had to use a bedpan. In which she was telling me she thought it was ridiculous that we didn't have anything for a woman to use besides a bedpan. So that really became the green light, so to speak, of looking at, well, why don't we have female urinals? And you can ask every nurse, every therapist, OT, PT alike. Probably 90% of them will tell you they've never seen a portable female urinal. Now, if you ask them about a male urinal, we've seen male urinals, at least for me, for the last 45 years that I've been in the healthcare profession. And we never gave thought to why no female urinals. Mm-hmm. And with that, a man comes in with a baseball cap. I look at the baseball cap. another light comes on, and that was in 2009 and 2021. We sold our first Potty Cap.
Now,
Go
the
ahead.
baseball cap, that was kind of where you got the idea for Potty Cap, okay.
Yes, it was like this portion here looks like the rim of the baseball cap. This is like the head, and if I put it, it's like this, like a baseball cap. And the challenge of number one, women not knowing that there's anything out there for them to use. So this is truly an educational product because we're having to educate women. There is something we've got out there. But you don't ask for something that you don't know that's available.
Right? Absolutely.
So this is our learning curve on how do you get women, and that's some of the challenges that we had as we went to Kansas City, because they were telling us a great product, innovative, but if people are not going to come in the stores and ask for it,
right,
we're not going to put it on the shelf.
Well, let's have a little bit of education here, kind of going back a little bit in terms of the whole issue around incontinence. Why is it that as we age, we begin to experience incontinence?
Okay, well, menopause basically is a decrease or a lowering of the estrogen level, which is one of the hormones that keeps us balanced, keeps our emotionals under control and all of that. Well, as we go into menopause, the estrogen levels drop. With that dropping, also affects the muscles everywhere. I mean, your arms, your legs, but also the muscles that control the bladder. So if you don't have control of that bladder, then what happens? Frequent urination. You could have stress incontinence, which is if I begin to laugh too much, it comes out. Or you have that urge where you think, oh, I just went to the bathroom. Why do I feel like I've got to go again? So we may go 2 or 3 times and not do much because we have that urge thinking we've got to go. And all of that is a part of the estrogen changes in the body. So with that change comes more frequency during the day, but particularly at night. So that's one of the reasons there.
Now, let me ask you, is there anything that women can do preventatively to help improve on their incontinence? Or is this just something that's just going to happen and there's nothing you can do about it?
No, there's, of course, it's called exercise. Part of that, Kegels are one of those, the exercises that we talk about when we're, particularly after women have had babies, after childbirth, to strengthen that muscle. But that's something that you can do continuously. The nutrition, let's look at what we're drinking. Are we drinking too much caffeine? Are we drinking too much late at night? Now, what you don't want to do is say not drink, because a lot of times, particularly older women, they will think, oh, the way I can cut down on urinating at night is I just don't drink. But what happens with that? That can increase urinary tract infection. That could have the sepsis. Dehydration is a leading cause being misdiagnosed with Alzheimer's because of the dehydration. So proper nutrition, proper exercise, and rest. And, occasionally, if you need something like that at night, you've got the Potty Cap at the bedside.
Right, exactly.
Right. And now, as well as physical therapy.
Now, you mentioned about hydration, and that's interesting because you're right. That's somewhat of a myth. People think if I drink less, then I won't have to go. But on the same token, let's say that you've, drank your regular amount of water and you're still feeling how to go, but you're wanting to hold it because it's just not convenient for you to go. What happens when you hold your urine repeatedly like that?
Again, that lack of holding it can also increase the urinary tract infection. It can also affect the bladder. Now, I'm not playing devil's advocate here. Now, there are times you do want to be able to control. So let's say, for instance, I'm having urge incontinence, but now I've got to train my body, like for you when you were walking this morning. What would have happened if you said, okay, I am going to push this 5 more minutes before I get home, and you were able to accomplish that? That meant you were controlling your muscles. All right. Now, that's a good thing. All right. Now, but if you spend all day, let's say you're at work and you decide, oh, I'm not going to go to the bathroom but every 4 to 5 hours, that's pushing on that bladder. and you don't want that. So it's good to release anywhere from 1 to every 2 hours, but not trying to hold it all day long. So it's a balance to that.
Yeah. That's very interesting because I do. I'm sorry, Donna, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, really younger women need to listen because I know I was guilty of it. I would hold it because you could, because you're younger and your bladder, as Faye just said, is stronger. So, but as you got older, all of that holding your urine has helped make your bladder weaker. And a lot of young ladies, and like I said, I know when I was younger, I was guilty of it. And I talked to some of my girlfriends' daughters and granddaughters, and they go, no, I can go all day without going to the
Oh my
bathroom. And
goodness.
I'm like, oh, please don't do that. That is just not good for you. So, as Faye just said, every 1 to 2 hours, you need to go to the bathroom and you need to make sure you empty your bladder because a lot of times that's what people don't. They go and you sometimes still need to sit there for, a couple of more seconds so you have completely emptied your bladder so you don't feel like in 5 minutes, oh, I got to go back to the bathroom. That's because you didn't empty it to begin with.
That's a very good point because especially when you're younger, you're always rushing around doing stuff. You go to the bathroom for a little bit, but you got to get back to your office or you got to get back to whatever you're doing. And so you hold it and then you could possibly have problems later on. Now, I know that your product was designed to help with incontinence, but what are some other ways that people can use your product?
Well, the way I look at it is that the Potty Cap can be used for children, for girls as young as 3 or as old as women 100 and plus. Why would a 3 or a 4-year-old need Potty Cap? In mama's car, traveling. The pandemic would have probably been a great time for us to really have pushed the marketing there. But think about where there were no places to use the bathroom. So there was an increase of taking the little toilets in the back seat. And I have a girlfriend whose daughter started using it at 4. And she told me, Faye, she'll tell me, Mom, get my Potty Cap out of the back because that's easy to use. So you don't have to worry about setting up a little toilet. You just allow them to slide it under them, and they're seated in the back seat. They use it, clean up, and empty it back in the back.
You mentioned something earlier that I'm really curious about. You had said that your patient at the time had said, I don't know why they don't have these kinds of urinals for women. Are you saying then that they have urinals in particular for men that women can't use?
The urinals that were designed before Potty Cap were specifically similar to male urinals. In fact, they're called unisex because they're saying both male and female can use them. But the problem is we can't use it effectively as like the Potty Cap. Number one, you're going to have to stand up to use the urinal. And you've got to get it positioned in the right place so that number one, you don't get urine on your hands because we know as women, we don't want urine on our hands. And number two, we don't want urine going between our legs, the flow of it. So the Potty Cap answers both of those questions. Number one, once you position it, you don't have to hold it in place because it assimilates the way we normally urinate as women. We like to sit and let it flow. So that is the biggest key, I guess, the biggest difference of Potty Cap to all the urinals on the market today. You don't have to hold it in place. You can sit on any seated surface.
I can attest to that, and that is very key. Donna, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say when you asked the question about other uses for it, we have found out, and Faye has friends, women who go camping really like the Potty Cap. They can stay in their tent. They don't have to get out in the middle of the night. We can attest to a lady who did a testimony who said it was pouring down raining and the lights had gone out on the campground. And she said she could see people walking past her tent with the flashlights trying to go to the, what do you call them? The urinals that they have out there for you, But she said, she laughed. She said, I turned over. I used my Potty Cap, cleaned myself up, turned back over. So, when I was setting up our UPS account, the young lady with UPS was like, my daughters, she asked me to tell her what it was. My daughters go voting with their father. She's like, "Can I buy two?" And she bought two right then. She's like, now he doesn't have to go back on shore for them to go to the bathroom. So even though Faye has been in the medical field for 45 years, and when she created this product, she created it for incontinence. But as we started selling it, people of all walks of life have like, I can use that. Like Faye said, long car rides. I keep one in my car all the time. We've had people say I was on 285 here in Georgia and it was shut down. I sat in traffic for 2 hours and remembered I had my potty cap in the trunk.
Wow.
So I don't want people to think that the potty cap is just for incontinence or people with medical issues. It's for every woman.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned something else too about, families and things like that and kids. Now, I know that kids can use Potty Cap. How can they just like use it by themselves, or do they have to be assisted? How does that work?
I think once let's say like the 4-year-old, she used it once. She doesn't, all her mother does is get it out of the back and she handles it from there. Because it is that simple to use, right? And some of them will even take off the bottle for the little boys. So the basin being for the girl, and at the same time with the catching the urine, but also using this bottle for the little boy if needed. So it's great for children. Okay.
Yeah, but it's really interesting because it teaches them independence as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know that your product has been recognized, and those of you who are listening in the audience, that I don't normally do. This is not an infomercial, but I did want you to understand what this product is and why it is important from a wellness perspective, because so many of us end up with urinary tract infections at a certain stage of life, sometimes during menopause, as she had mentioned. And a lot of times the reason might be basically something as simple as we're holding our urine. Whereas if we had a product like this, we wouldn't be guilty of that. So that's one of the reasons why I asked them to come on and share a little bit about Potty Cap and why it's important. But the other thing is, I know that your product has been recognized. It's getting some attention. Why has it been recognized? And what were some of the things it was recognized for?
I'll let Donna handle that one.
Well, and as Faith stated earlier, it's an educational thing and people don't know. So people aren't going to walk in the store and say, hey, where's the potty cap? Mm-hmm. So we have attended a few medical shows and a few just events. We went to one recently, ECRM medical healthcare event. And we sat in front of about maybe 30 different buyers. And, between buyers, durable medical equipment stores, distributors, where they can get it out on the market because people know them. And as we all know, when a new company hits the market, people are a little more concerned. I don't know anything about them. So if you have it, a well-known distributor, or you go to this medical store all the time and you walk into that store and they're pushing it, people are more prone to buy it. So Faye actually attended this event in Kansas back in May, and we were the runner-up for the Buyer's Choice Award. Wow. So we did win that award. Then we attended this was a medical show, MedTrade. It is the largest medical trade show in the United States. And we won the gold for the most innovative product. So we're getting recognized by big distributors and people like that to get it out on the market. And then Faye, because she has been in the medical field, she visits every week, 2-3 different long-term care facilities, convalescent homes, healthcare facilities, and they are buying them. And so we're just kind of still new, but we're getting that word out to everybody, as many people as we can.
Yeah, that is excellent to, start having people reach out and getting customers and all of that. Now, where can people find the Potty Cap product? I want you to tell them verbally, but I would tell you right now, all the listeners, on the show page are all the links to Bladder products, including where you can go and buy the product. Why don't you go ahead and tell them verbally in case they're driving and just don't want to wait until they get off the phone. They just want to call right now. So where do they go?
Okay.
You can go to Amazon and type in Potty, Pottycap, is one word, Potty Cap. you can go to Walmart. We also sell it on Walmart. And then you can always go to our webpage that is going to direct you. And our webpage is www.pottycap.com. If you go to our webpage, it's going to tell you more about the product, why it was created. It's going to give you background on the Potty Cap. It is going to direct you to Amazon.
Okay. And I do remember reading that. It's really an excellent story. And I encourage everybody to go over to their website at www.pottycap.com to find out more about this amazing product that is really life changing. I'm telling you, this is absolutely true. This morning, I was ready and prepared to finish my walk with pee pants. I was just like, oh, well, it's early. No one's out. I'm just going to walk with pee pants. But the reality is that surprised me about this kind of thing is that it kind of stings a little bit because these are your waste products. It's not like it's water coming out of there. Even if you drink a lot of water, you have to go to the bathroom. It's still getting rid of waste that your body doesn't need. So it has a different, of course, it has a smell, but also has a different feel. It's uncomfortable. So this is a way to get rid of that uncomfortability. And, this is the first time I've ever used it on a walk, but it felt so good. And I thought to myself, because I just turned 67, I was like, okay, so is this how it's going to be this year? And I'm going to do my Kegel exercises, by the way. Maybe that'll help. Donna, go ahead.
I would say it is so simple to use. I mean, it is like Faye said, the 4-year-old uses it. I mean, it's made for the way women urinate. You just slide it under you, you pull down, if you have pants on, you have a dress on, you pull, you just slide it under you. And Faye, if you could show it again, it's that base in the sides of it, keep the urine from running over the sides. There's a hole in the middle. And it goes straight down into that hole. And then that top is a splash guard so it doesn't splash. That bottle is detachable. It comes off and we have a cap. So if you don't want to keep the bottle on it, you put the cap on it. Wow. So it's that simple to use. It's like you guys have thought going to the bathroom. It's really that simple.
You've thought of everything. And again, audience, the information for Potty Cap and where to buy it. There's several different places you can buy it. Definitely go ahead and take a look at that. And Faye, I can tell you wanted to say something else.
Yes, Linus, we're hoping to do a grassroots campaign. So I'm hoping you'll have us back.
Okay.
And what it's about is because one of the largest retail stores here in the country said they would not put it on their shelves unless women are coming in to ask for it. So I thought, okay, how can we get women to come into your store and ask for a Potty Cap?
Okay.
Now, I'm sure you've got some ideas and we've got some ideas, but the key thing is this is revolutionary. And think about how much we're paying for adult diapers. I don't know if you realize it starts from a low of $50 up to $300 a month. And we know that we're on a budget in their 70s and 80s are just not able to afford that. Right. And the real truth is sometimes they're wearing them longer than they need to because they can't afford it.
They can't afford it. Wow. You're absolutely right. So I hear you loud and clear. Everybody in V.I.B.E Nation, those of you who are looking for some assistance in the incontinence level, or your parents. I know a lot of you are taking care of your parents or your significant others, your spouses, your partners, and they're having a little problem with the incontinence piece. Go to your local Walmart and say, I need Potty Cap. Is it Walmart? Is that where they go?
And Walgreens.
And Walgreens.
Yes.
Walgreens. Okay.
We want you to go there and ask for them. Now, if you have to go to the website to buy it from Walmart, but we just want people, like Faye said, going to Walgreens and going to the Walmarts and asking for it so they will start putting it on their shelves. So we're not just online selling. We really want to get on. We want to get on people's shelves.
You got it. Wow. Well, thank you for telling me that. I'm going to make sure we put that messaging in the comments as well. Everybody, I don't know if you're driving right now. Don't look right now if you're driving, but once you get home, come back to this replay and take a look at the show page, which tells you all about Potty Cap. But more specifically, we're going to request that you go into Walgreens and Walmart and say, I need Potty Cap. Where is it?
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Faye and
Thank
Donna from
you.
Potty Cap being here today. And thank you to all of you for being here as well. I had told you that right around this time of the year, because I am interviewing in June, and I'm going to go ahead and put this up right away, because normally I'm about 20, 30 podcasts out. Because in fact, all of our podcasts are planned for the year. But every once in a while, I'll have a podcast that I want you to pay special attention to. And I told you that right around this time of the year, I had some special things going on. And that is by the time you see this or hear this podcast, my new membership program will be up. And the links to the new membership program are right there. I want you to go ahead and take a look at it. We have some great things. We've got courses, we've got some challenges and some guides, information that's going to help you to be well in your mind, body, and spirit, all from a holistic perspective, because you have to take care of a little bit of everything in order to get well. So take a look at the website. I'd love for you to tell me, what you think about it. Would love to hear how your experience was. Would love for you to go ahead and subscribe to the membership program as well. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Have a fantastic day. And don't forget to vibe. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the V.I.B.E Living Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share this podcast. Have a fantastic day, and don't forget to vibe. Bye-bye, everybody.